reviewing the papers, and we have author and broadcaster Emma Wolf in the big screen there, and in the studio we have Matthew Stadlen, presenter and writer. Thank you so much for sticking with us this morning. We've got some cracking stories to get through. Matthew, we'll start with you. First of all, this is the Mirror, it's page 2, and we'll all remember, won't we, that Kabul airlift. But the Mirror going in on this exclusive, as they say, that our Afghan allies, they're being left in limbo.
Yeah, this was 2 years ago, I think, this month. So as soon as I saw this on page 2 of the Sunday Mirror, it immediately grabbed me, and I was pleased that it's still getting coverage because it absolutely deserves to. Do you remember at the time, that was all we were talking about, trying to rescue people, Britons, but also Afghan allies from Afghanistan, to make sure that we could take them out of the clutches of the Taliban. And yet still, 24 months later, 4,300 of our Afghan allies still in limbo. And this is just the story of one such person who is a translator for us. He's a 32-year-old. They haven't named him. They've given him an alibi. They've called him Ali. He said, I put mine and my family's lives in danger for the UK. This is not what we deserve. And he claims that he passed security checks for a visa last year, but he's still waiting. He's in a hotel, I think, in Pakistan. We absolutely need to keep the focus on this story, because it's not good enough just to leave these people to the Taliban. Yeah, well, the Home Office saying they're kind of unable to say how long it will take to find accommodation. So that's what the Home Office are saying there. Emma, you're also in the Mirror, not literally, but you've picked a story in the Mirror, page 9. This is a worrying one as we're heading into the autumn and winter. It's the NHS running out of paracetamol.
Yeah, it is very alarming, actually, and something I haven't really been across. I mean, we've heard about drug shortages, specifically shortages of HRT for women, but this is actually within the NHS, within hospitals, there is a dangerous shortage, a national shortage of paracetamol, which is used IV, so used intravenously after operations. Using paracetamol intravenously by injection is actually much, much more effective than giving it by tablet, giving it orally. And it's a very safe way, and it's a very effective way to relieve pain after operation. So we obviously need a lot of it. We need a lot of it intravenously. But apparently across the UK, due to manufacturing problems, capacity problems, global shortages, COVID, inflation, Brexit, everything. You can blame it on everything. Yeah. There is a real shortage of paracetamol.
And the
things like the alternatives.
Yeah, I mean, the last thing you want is people rushing out, buying more than they actually need. And that's the worry with this story, I suppose.
Well, yeah, it's not really about stocking up on tablets. It's about the IV stuff that you give in hospitals. The alternatives, ibuprofen has bad side effects. People can bleed a lot on ibuprofen. Things like morphine is very slow. Oral morphine is very slow to act. So actually, paracetamol, although it sounds simple and we can all buy it for, 50p a pack, is really, really effective within hospitals. So, yeah, they do need more of it, and this is another one of those, drug shortage crises.
Yeah, I suppose the government needs to spell out how urgent this potential shortage is. We'll wait for that. Matthew, The Express, we've been covering this, obviously, on Sky News. Imran Khan, former Prime Minister of Pakistan, he's in a jail right now in Islamabad.
It's really difficult to know whether he's rightfully or wrongly imprisoned. He's in prison serving a 3-year sentence for corruption. Was he corrupt? We don't know. The irony is that he was pitched as, or seen still as, an anti-corruption candidate, actually. And Dr. Alan Mendoza, at the end of this article of the Henry Jackson Society, said that Khan was Pakistan's best bet when it came to clearing out corrupt practices. We know that politics in Pakistan is a dirty game, but it's a very important game because Pakistan is a nuclear power. I mean, I grew up with Imran Khan being one of the great cricketers, winning the World Cup against England in 1992 in Australia, but he's a very serious global figure now, and we have to keep our eye on this story because what happens in Pakistan matters not just regionally, but globally.
Yeah, his team of lawyers say they're going to take this to the highest court to fight it.
And he's calling for protests across Pakistan.
Yeah, we'll be keeping an eye on that, of course. Emma, in the Mail, I didn't know much about this story, actually. So a company that Prince Harry's involved in is laying off staff, am I right?
Yes, it's a life coaching company in the US called Better Up, and they've had to lay off around 100 staff based at their San Francisco headquarters. we know that things haven't been looking great for the Duke and Duchess of California, Montecito. They recently lost their lucrative Spotify deal. That was cancelled. And now this company, BetterUp, is going through trouble. Harry, the Duke, is their Chief Impact Officer, which is one of those sort of nonsensical terms. Anyway, he's their Chief Impact Officer and hasn't been making much of an impact, it seems. He apparently gets a 7-figure salary for this. One of their workers says that he's a distraction, that he does zero, and the juice isn't worth the squeeze, which I think is a fabulous phrase. We should all use it. This is another setback for the couple. They've had all that, the cancellation. They're not doing great. They're apparently losing lots of their celebrity friends. They're a distraction. They're seen as a distraction when they're trying to promote clients because of the melodrama, because of the fact that they're seen as untrustworthy now in the US. Various media stories have been inflated or invented. You remember the car chase around Manhattan, all of that. So things not looking so rosy for Harry specifically, but also just Meghan and Harry as a brand.
Yeah, it's not looking good. Emma, thank you so much. Matthew, thanks again. We'll speak to you in the next hour. Still to come on Sky News Breakfast. More on how the government hopes social media firms can help tackle crossings as it prepares for a week of migration announcements.